Welcome to The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 1, Days Gone By review. This episode was directed by Frank Darabont. It originally aired on October 31st, 2010, with 5.35 million viewers. When I first saw the trailer for The Walking Dead, I was really excited. I could tell I was really going to enjoy the movie, or the show, sorry about that. But what ended up happening was I was not able to watch it, except usually because it airs on Sundays. I usually got sidetracked or I forgot about it. And there was 6 episodes in the first season, so I was not able to fully watch it as they aired or whatever. I ended up watching it the summer before Season 2 aired. So I got caught up all over the summer, got familiar with all the characters, I got my favorite character or whatever, and all that stuff. By the way, my favorite character is Daryl. Usually that's a big cliche because everybody usually generally likes him. Other than Daryl would probably be Glenn. That's probably my 2 favorite. But what did you guys think of last Sunday's episode? We'll get to that later, but I'll probably do a review on that. But leave your comments what you thought about it. What's going to end up happening in this area or whatever, since I am far behind. I'm on Season 1. I'm going to try and get up to where I can do the reviews right after the episode airs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing The Walking Dead probably every TV Tuesday. I know it'll probably be boring watching Walking Dead. It's really not TV Tuesday, but that's what I'm going to call it. All the way until I get caught up, and hopefully by October, I'm assuming that's when it's airing, when Season 4 airs, then I'll be able to do it episode by episode. But yeah, let's get on. If you like my new location, I changed locations. I had to because my brother was upstairs. But let's get on to the actual review and description of the very first episode. Welcome guys, let me get started off by going detail into the episode, and I'll get to actually what I thought about it. When this episode starts off, it shows Rick and Shane. Well, Shane is Rick's partner. Rick is the deputy, sheriff's deputy or whatever. And they get a call to a high-speed pursuit or whatever, and they set up at the end and they put spike strips down. And the car comes up over the hill and hits the spike strips and flips like 6 or 7 times or whatever. After the whole rolling's over or whatever, they approach the car. And the man gets out or whatever, and he starts shooting or whatever, and then they start shooting him and killing. There's like 3 or 4 guys in the car actually. And then one of the other guys gets out, and actually Rick does get shot, but it hit his vest, so he gets back up, or he gets, yeah, I'm assuming right if I'm remembering this off my head, but he gets up the first time or whatever, and it didn't hit his vest or whatever. And then the other deputies or in Shane or whatever, they shoot that guy or whatever, and then when it's all cleared or whatever, as they think it gets cleared, they pull Rick up again or whatever, and then another guy jumps out and actually does hit Rick in the back of the shoulder or whatever, and he does get hit, and he ends up falling into a coma. But luckily he does wake up, sadly, to find the world overrun by zombies, otherwise known as walkers. When he wakes up, he ends up having an illusion or a psychedelic thing or whatever, and a vision, or so-called vision or whatever, of Shane, but it turns out not to be Shane. He's just hallucinating. And then whenever he does actually have consciousness and he gets up or whatever, crawls out of the hospital, he ends up seeing like a mutilated female corpse. And then this is where he sees his first herd or group of walkers. He avoids them or whatever and goes down like this little corridor of stairways or whatever. It's pitch dark, you can't see anything. And he has like these little matches trying to get around or whatever. It's pitch ass dark, you can't see shit. But when he does get to the door or whatever, he goes outside and he sees rows and rows and rows of dead bodies in sacks or cases, whatever. And sheets is what it looks like. But there's hundreds and hundreds of bodies or whatever. And he's like, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't know where everybody is, where his family is. What he's basically trying to do is get back to his family. So he goes up over the hill and sees a bunch of army Humvees and Hueys and a whole bunch of helicopters and stuff and crates and all this shit. He's like, you know, what the hell's going on? He doesn't know, you know, what the hell. So he ends up walking along or whatever, and he finds a bike. And this is where The Walking Dead got idolized for me. Whenever I think of Walking Dead, this is what I think of. This is where we actually see the first close-up walker. And if you know her name, the Bicycle Girl, otherwise known as Hannah. If you watch The Walking Dead Season 1 webisodes, it's on YouTube. It's called Torn Apart. That shows how Hannah got there, like what she had to do and how she ended up getting to where she was when Rick found her. But you know, she's a little half no legs, just crawling around or whatever, freaking intestines hanging out her back or whatever, mouth's all decayed, skin's falling off, and and then he's like, he doesn't know what the hell it is, you know, so he ends up getting scared or whatever. He takes the bike and, you know, pedals away. So he pedals away, he goes to his old house trying to find his family. He gets to the house, nobody's there, the house is deserted, he doesn't know where his family is, what the hell's going on. He sits on the curb or whatever, he ends up getting smacked in the face with a shovel, being mistakenly think as a walker, by, we get introduced to a new character, Morgan. His son's name is the guy who smacks him upside the head with the shovel. I don't remember, I think, yeah, Dwayne, that's his name. Dwayne smacks him upside the head with the shovel or whatever. Rick ends up, he gets dazed or whatever, Morgan, because he had the shot wound or whatever, the bandage. And then Morgan asks him how he got it, and he tells him a shot wound because if it's a bite, they obviously would have killed him. Because if you know, everybody knows you get bit, you turn into a zombie. But he ends up passing out again. Whenever Rick wakes up, he is tied to a bed, and you know that he doesn't know. He's asking like, "What the hell's going on? What's happened to the world?" And they basically explain to him that the world's gone to shit, and you know everything's hell, and that's what ends up happening. He shows them all the walkers or whatever. After Rick does regain consciousness or whatever, he takes Morgan and Dwayne to the police station to get armed. Rick gets armed, gets back into his uniform, gets a squad car, and heads out in search of his family. He ends up driving until he runs out of gas at a farmhouse. Where we see he goes up to the house, whatever, nobody's there, trying to find gas or whatever. This is where we see the suicide or whatever. It says "God save us" on the wall, and you know they blew their head off with the 12 gauge because they pretty much said the world's gone to hell. They ain't got nothing to live for, so they killed themselves. But so he doesn't even get anything from there. But he ends up finding a horse, and he gets on the horse and rides it into Atlanta. You know, this is where we saw the iconic, if you look at the season 1 cover of him riding into Atlanta. It's got all the cars on the left side and him just lone on a horse riding towards Atlanta. And when he ends up getting to Atlanta, you know, it's overrun by walkers. He rides around or whatever, and that's where we see a whole bunch of them. And he's like, "Oh shit!" So he turns around, takes off for one's up, and this is when he ends up finding a tank or whatever. And he gets there, and the walkers take down the horse. You know, they eat it, and it shows them ripping it apart and shit. That's probably one of the coolest and aggressive scenes in the season 1 or whatever. But they rip the horse apart. So he climbs under the tank or whatever, and he shoots a couple things. And he ends up like thinking he's gonna kill himself, but then he looks under the tank and there's a hatch, and he gets up in the tank or whatever and closes it, and he's saved. He's inside the tank. But this is where we see a dead soldier or whatever. As we think he's dead or whatever, and the walker's like this, and he just leans up and looks at Rick, and Rick's like, "Oh shit!" And he has a Colt Python, just fucking blows it inside the tank, shoots the walker. He's fucking the sound or whatever from a revolver inside a closed space as a tank. It's gonna ring a lot. So he kills that or he sits there, and then this is where season 1 actually, or the episode Days Gone By ends, which is where we hear Glenn on the radio saying, I think he said something to the fact of, "Hey idiot, you cozy in there?" Because he saw him get in the tank, and then the episode goes off. Let me get to my review of the episode. This episode is by far my favorite episode. I don't know. I fell in love with Days Gone By. I thought it was the best episode out of all we've seen so far. People might disagree with me, but I don't know why. That was just always my favorite episode. It was the iconic episode, very first episode. That was pretty much. I love the part where they rip the horse apart. I love gore, if not too gory. But even though I don't like the Hellraiser movies. Those movies creep me out. But I can watch people get ripped apart all day. But I thought that was really well done. The cinematography and the filming was really, really well done. It looked great. The lighting was great. Just the desolate town, it just looked deserted. It looked really good. The acting was good. Rick, I'm not sure on his actor's name, and I don't know all the facts, but he was a really good actor. And believe it or not, he's actually a British actor. And the guy who plays Morgan, if I believe it or not, his name's Lenny James, and he's also British. And Robert Kirkman, which is the creator of the comic book, if you didn't know that. They were talking about how they got a Brit to come across the pond or whatever and play an American police officer. So that was really cool. I give them props. I give everybody props for the episode. And I just thought it was a well thought out episode. The season was great. All the cinematography was good. Acting, as I said. The desertedness, the police chasing action was good whenever Rick first got shot. The flip scene whenever the car flipped was really, really, really cool. I actually watched how they did that, how they actually got the car to flip, and that was really cool. But out of all, I give this episode, I always do it out of 10, but I will never give anything a 10 because nothing is perfect. But if I did give this, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really well done episode. but I give everybody props. I give Frank Darabont a good job for directing. He did a good job. 5.35 million views is not bad for a first episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed my first TV Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully they'll get better and better reviews or whatever. But look forward to tomorrow's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Hey guys, just a little side note. I want you guys to check out another friend of mine, CNA Films and Animation. They actually gave me a shout out in their video today. They reviewed The Devil Inside Me. I really do appreciate them and Mr. Filmjack for both giving me a shout out, welcoming to the YouTube community. As they said, I am a new guy to this, and I feel very welcomed. I thank both of them for giving me a shout out, and I gave both of them a shout out. I gave Mr. Filmjack a shout out in my Sinister review, but check that out as well. So I give CNA Films and Animation another shout out in this video. Thank you guys so much for giving me a shout out and making me feel welcomed. If you guys got anybody else out there, if they got any movies or TV shows you want me to review or anything you want me to rant about or talk about or whatever, feel free to comment and leave down below. I'll leave the link in the below. But that's pretty much it for today's video. As I said in the last thing, it's just a little cutaway because I forgot to give them a shout out. But peace out guys, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video.